Alright guys, right, so this is the update. So 2 days ago I contacted a solicitor, and they've gone away and they were trying to decide whether they could take the case on, all that type of stuff. And I contacted Netpol. Kind of busy at the moment, obviously. But anyway, what I did, I contacted the solicitor again today. And then basically they turned around, they said that, well, they put it around to various solicitors. There's quite a few of them there apparently, and they were trying to see if somebody could take the case on. And they said, well, actually we can't, because it's just too much work. And unfortunately they've got, they have actually got some other people that they're dealing with, quite a lot of them apparently. Quite a lot of protesters, sort of protester types. So and apparently also people like myself that have been doing sort of news journalistic type stuff, and they've got their cases going. So so it's basically really busy. So if you want to get yourself sorted out in this country, there's no legal aid now, obviously. So there's a very limited amount of lawyers and people that can sort of deal with these sort of cases that have experience. And it would appear, because they're, talking to people that I have been talking to, it would appear that the police in the UK are kind of being a bit, sort of, and these young people that go protesting and what have you, and get arrested. Well, when I was young, we used to go out and get, go protesting. I didn't do it myself, but I know people that did, and they didn't get arrested, or if they were really out of order, maybe, but certainly not not for just going out there and blocking roads and things like this. But anyway, now that we can't do that type of thing, of course, the young people are getting arrested and obviously getting charged with criminal offences and getting records. So it's kind of a different world we live in. Anyway, so I thought, wow, well, there's nothing I can do then. That's the end of that. I haven't had a response from Netpol yet, but I mean, really, they were directing me to the solicitors. And to be honest, I think now that I've given that sort of a try, and I need to, well, basically now it's make a decision time. I did phone an activist. I wasn't an activist, kind of more of a campaigner, up to get some advice. Just say, hey, these are my options. What do you reckon? And this is my situation. So the person said, well, look, at the end of the day, you've got overt, in your face surveillance, and they're squeezing you in any way they can. So he said at the end of the day, well, that's what it is to be an activist. He said to me. So I went, oh. And he said, in this day and age, we're all in the same boat. So I think, obviously some people are kind of a little bit better set up than others to sort of work with this stuff. In my case, and probably in the case of most of you out there, one day in the future, basically going to have to make a decision on how they're going to deal with that, And so you either live in a sort of kind of police state with no support, or you have to really, get out, move country, that's what we're talking about here, isn't it? Refugee from the UK. Has that ever happened? I don't think that's ever happened in English history, that people have. The Irish got kicked out in the 11th century by royal decree. Irish travellers, wasn't it? For many hundreds of years, that law stood. But it's not quite the same as people fleeing, is it? It's like having to flee what's happening in the UK. I think the last time that happened would have been when the Romans and all the Celts that didn't want to live under Roman went to Scotland and Ireland, I would have thought, and Wales. So, but anyway, But here we are now. Scotland and Ireland and Wales are basically all the same place under a digital world. They offer no protections and the same dangers. You could be attacked through your finance system anyway. So anyway, things to do. Any ideas? Leave them under the video. But my idea really is, I think well, I might give this Iceland thing a go. I've got friends and family in Scandinavia type thing, certainly, and I'm kind of veering that, and the freedom of the press sort of thing is going to be good for me, isn't it? So yeah, I'm sort of my windows are narrowing on where I can go. I could go to Russia maybe, but it doesn't look like Putin's going to be too good for activists. So I could go and wait in Moscow terminal. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that. So yeah, people from the UK, where would you go if you had this level of attack? And to be honest with you, at the moment, they're kind of being subtle. I mean, they'll get to a time when they won't need to be so subtle at all. Not like this isn't completely. I mean, I managed to get some of it on camera, and but the thing is that all the phone calls, all this sort of stuff, you're going to put a data protection request in, and that can be stopped, can't it? And the domestic extremist database, its website now has a phone number, but it's for media. So they don't seem to have another contact for people wanting to do domestic, do a Data Protection Act request. And would you trust them? Actually, I couldn't do it myself. I wanted a lawyer to do it because they would be able to see if something was redacted or if there's problems with it. So anyway, all right. So the next thing then really is to shift. So anyway, I've got to sit down now, have a little think. Just wanted to run this all by you. Just let you know the bad news. And so that gives me about 4 or 5 days to move out, empty what's left of the house, and start a new life. Anyway, I'm not going to stop blogging, so that's not what this is all about at all. This is just to let you know what's happening to me while I'm blogging, and kind of document it in some way. And hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully, maybe Iceland, when I go there, I'll be able to say that that's what I've been doing, that's what's got me into trouble, and they can decide whether, I mean, as a side issue, just in case anybody is thinking of, going to another country, there is other options than just going in as political dissidents or whatever. You could possibly go there as a university student or something, doing a kind of a degree or some sort of course. Anyway, but just a bit of food for thought there for you guys. Yeah. So it looks like there's going to be lots of people moving around Europe in the coming few years. But we've got to do something about it. We need to get this stuff out. I mean, not so much this private bloggy stuff, but all those other videos I've got down there that are showing mass contamination, children in Fukushima, these really sad, covered up stories. So they need to get out there. So, just all we can do is just spread them out there. And you can be assured that I'm going to be digging for stories because at the end of the day now I've got no choice. I'm on set on my track, blacklisted, and basically being targeted by the establishment for journalism. Well, it's a bit basic journalism, but I could get better. And but I'm good for a link or two. So it was just let's keep it free. Let's get that info out there. Let's let people know what's going on, and just let's try and make a bit of change just by changing ourselves. I mean, that's all we can do, isn't it? We can only rely on ourselves. Um, but let's get shall we say enlightened. Yeah, let's get enlightened. Let's look for knowledge and avoid the BBC website, unless you want to have a laugh, of course. All right. Anyway, take care, guys, and I am keeping my chin up. This is Arclight signing off for now, and yeah, a few busy days, and I should be back at the posting. Anyway, God bless all, and yeah, stay safe, and whatever you do, you know, the more of us that fight the system, uh, their system becomes completely unwieldy. They find it hard enough to deal with the few dissident people there are in the world at the moment. Never mind if people wake up and they all become dissidents. Well, that's going to be a problem for the establishment, and I might get a bit of a break. So do think about it.